into the video because it gives detailed information as to how to look for any type of infidelity, especially on a phone. So stay tuned. And one of the items, wondering is this video for you, right? Because again, it does talk about addiction, but there also is addiction, whether it's pornography. I personally consider that infidelity if they're doing it. If you agree to it, that's one thing. But if they're doing it behind your back, to me, that's a little bit of infidelity. Nate's was beyond that. His was 100% infidelity. And there's probably things I don't even know. But I'm just curious, has your husband's infidelity ever had you feeling lost, very lost and confused? Again, I didn't believe Nate's infidelity. I felt there was something there. I asked him. He said nothing ever happened. But I was very lost. I was very confused. I was very conflicted. I felt like I was overreacting, even though I know I wasn't, but I felt like I was. But anyway, has that happened to you? This video will definitely go into the emotional turmoil of navigating my relationship and anybody's relationship after betrayal, and just really offering relatable insights and coping strategies that I utilize to regain my strength and move forward. With the video I'm going to show next will actually go into the actual details, the thought process behind the infidelity, meaning it's from Nate's words directly from his 12-step group. And then, as I mentioned at the end of that video, there will be evidence that he has never shared, as far as I know, during a 12-step group, but the evidence that I truly saw the full circle picture of the infidelity. The pain for me, the pain of infidelity. Now, granted that I have multiple pains going on because also I'm a domestic abuse survivor as well. So the pain of infidelity can be so incredibly overwhelming. It's left me feeling heartbroken and just really betrayed, as if I didn't do enough. And so this video just really shares the raw and honest perspective, which is why I decided I'm not going to get ready. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to do it exactly how I'm doing. I did not feel like getting ready today. And it's just because today's one of those days where I have just really been reflecting on what has happened with my specific marriage. And so this video just shows the raw, honest perspective and the real emotional roller coaster of dealing with a husband who is actually having an affair. My channel does offer, hopefully, that support and guidance for those who are struggling to actually cope with the affair. Now, again, my situation is a little bit different because with my specific situation, I had the infidelity, but also there was drinking, and then there was gambling that he was hiding, and then there was drinking involved as well, and domestic abuse. I had 2 restraining orders against him. One of them was the first one is when after I said no 5 times, he stopped at the 5th time, but initially he would not stop taking my clothes off. So after the 5th time, he did stop. But at that point, I was looking for my cell phone. When I kept saying stop, I was looking around me. I couldn't see my cell phone, and then he just stopped. I wish I would have pressed charges. In all reality, I really wish I would have. But I blame myself. And then the other item is the domestic abuse that I also go through. And I just uploaded a video. I did go to therapy. So highly recommend anybody who is dealing with any type of infidelity, any type of anything, definitely talk to your therapist. I just saw my therapist, and I have now been diagnosed with PTSD. So I get extremely vivid dreams where I wake up in a panic and I think that all of it is true. And on the other aspect, I just tell myself I just want to forget it and I don't want to think about it at all. So those are very real symptoms of PTSD. And so with that being said, I will continue going to my therapist and have her work through all of that with me. I do not have any advice for learning how to move on from that, meaning how to love again. I have not dated. It's not that I haven't been interested. I just haven't gotten that far yet. What I wish I would have done differently, one of the big things with anybody who struggles with addiction is that they're more than likely, that's not the only thing that they're hiding. They're not only hiding that addictive behavior, but they're hiding other things as well. And when they are active in their addiction, that is when other items will emerge, like infidelity. As I'm talking, I'm getting PTSD right now. I got a flashback of when I found Nate talking to some other woman on Facebook. And he was talking about going to see her, and he was talking about his marriage was over and we were still married. The marriage is over. He was going to drive to see her, etc. So I have a very vivid image of that actual Facebook conversation in my head. So that's a part of PTSD that I need to work through. I do need to, my therapist did say I do need to work through these items, and I do need to remember them and let them go and tell myself, but God, because God did protect us. My only concern is, do I have anything because of his cheating? Meaning, did he pass along any diseases? That I don't have that answer. My tests, everything has come back fine, so I believe I'm okay. But that is definitely has been a concern. But moving on, any type of infidelity, I should have gone with my gut. When Nate would be sleeping, I would get into his computer and his computer would be logged into his Facebook, and I could look at his computer. I could look at his phone. I wish there's an app called Covenant Eyes. I wish that was on his phone, but it was not, because the evidence that I found afterwards of him cheating was on his phone. And again, that's at the end of the next video. Other items I wish we did go to counseling together for addiction, but we did not go to counseling together for specifically for any type of infidelity. He always told me that he had been faithful. I didn't believe him, but I thought it was just me and I should believe him. He wouldn't lie to me. He lied to me about drinking. Why wouldn't he lie to me about being unfaithful? It's a question to myself. So if you're faced with this, my recommendation is to get help. The pain of infidelity is real. The story I'm sharing is just the journey of me going through and really understanding how bad the infidelity was, how bad his addiction was, and then moving on, and what does that look like? So I will continue to post some videos. I did talk to a friend when I was visiting Iowa. I did talk to a friend and we talked about dating in general, and I'm going to give it a shot. Again, I'm still a little nervous, but I am going to give it a shot. For me, it was everything was so incredibly normal in my life until that one moment, that one thing that changed everything, and everything turned upside down, and it never was the same. And everything just snowballed away from there. I remember Nate, my late husband, he swore he would never hurt me. He would never break my heart. I'm sitting here as a widow. I'm sitting here as a domestic abuse survivor. I'm sitting here as someone who was cheated on, who was lied, who was verbally abused. He took pills as well. All those items are hurt, and I'm now diagnosed with PTSD. So I'm sharing my journey, sharing the rawness of it, and thank you for listening. I'm going to start the next portion of the video that just goes into the documents from Nate's 12-step, but the type of person he was that I never knew he was until after I married him. I don't know if you've been in that situation. I never thought it would be me, and it's me. That is me. And I am so sorry. So sorry for those of you who have been in that situation, or if you're in that situation, get out now. Just get out. I have kids. Get your kids out safely. Just get out. Yeah. Breathe through it. I am back talking about addiction, recovery, relapse, redemption, and dedicating this to those who have lost their struggle with addiction, including my late husband. This is his journal or workbook from one of the 12-step programs or inpatient programs he was in. As far as I know, he has been in 11. Believe that there are more that I'm unaware of. I'm sure I will find out the official total as soon as I go through all of his items. But this, he wrote on here, Nate, nasty dog. This is not my husband. Never heard himself say nasty dog. Never heard himself say, go get me some candy. He's obviously not talking about the candy you eat. During his last relapse, actually, I'm going to save that to the end because nobody knows what I found after his last relapse. I will save that to the end. Let me go ahead and read some of his words that I have from him. So this is just with regards to his living area during active addiction. What are the problems in your living area and following areas? Close proximity to an alcohol vendor is his problem, at least the time where he was living. Social. Most social situations are at places that serve alcohol. Occupational. Close proximity to an alcohol vendor. This is where he works. Financial. Minimal bills make for money available after alcohol purchases. Neighborhood. Again, a close proximity to an alcohol vendor. Seeing the connection here. No money because of alcohol. Everywhere he is, work, living, neighborhood, social events, alcohol is around. His entire struggles with alcohol, he struggles with pills, he struggles with drugs, he struggles with gambling. Those are the things that I am fully aware of. Remember on this folder, it has get me some candy. I have Nate's old phone and I was in there. I can't remember what I was looking for. After he passed, I was trying to get as much information as possible because I was not with him. I didn't have any banking information. I did not have any information because we had been out of his life for almost a year. So I was looking in his phone and there was a dark app and it was a dark brown color. I can't remember the name. And I clicked on it and it had hidden apps within that app. One of them
was called Never Jerk Off Alone. I clicked on it and it showed somebody's bedroom with a timer counting down to when that person would go live. And there were viewers in that room. I had no idea this existed, nor did I know that he was watching these things. I don't know how long that was on his phone. So the phone that I have is the phone when he relapsed, he had a new phone, and then I have an old phone. He never turned in his old phone. So I had his old phone prior to his relapse. So prior to his relapse, this was in his phone. And he had it in. There were 3 other apps. I cannot remember their names. It was the same type of app. Same type of app. Watching women. I did not wait to see what the women were doing. Watching women and people do things of an intimate nature in order to get a high off of it and to get off. And that is something nobody knows. I was devastated. I cannot believe that my loving husband, because he was doing this when we were married, when he was quote unquote sober, this was in his phone in a hidden app. Hidden. And I had no idea. It is not okay. And if you are struggling, I encourage you to get help now. Tune in. I'm going to put a link to his testimony at the end here. Also, tune in. I am going to continue as much as I can to read his words for everybody, hoping that this will help those who are struggling in active addiction, who are maybe recovered and are struggling with triggers, or anybody who is struggling trying to get out of or is out of an active addiction relationship. Comment below if there's something specific you want me to discuss. I will be happy to do a video about it. I am an open book.